Now you're good.
We're gonna call the City of Centerton Planning Commission meeting July 15th, 2025 with the roll call.
Jeff Seyfarth,
I'm here.
Joey Engel,
Here.
Tony Davis, Craig Langford, Ben Lewis, Devin Murphy, Curtis Ramsey, John Sessoms,
Here.
Brandon Swoboda.
Here. Just as a quick reminder, when you make motions, make sure we call out our names as everybody gets acclimated. So just as a quick reminder, first thing on the agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes from our meeting on 7/1 of 2025.
John, I motion to approve the minutes from 7/1/25.
Tony, I second.
Motion and a second. Is there anyone that's opposed? All right, next on the agenda is the ratification of the admin approvals. There's three. There's two home occupation businesses, and then there's a track split off of Highway 72. Any questions or comments from any of the commissioners or staff? If not, then I would entertain a motion for the ratification of the admin approvals.
This is Ben. I'll make a motion to approve the admin approvals.
John, second.
Motion and a second. Is there anyone that's opposed? Right, under new business this evening, first thing on the agenda is a public hearing. The public hearing is for a rezone 2506, the Keystone Group. Their request is from A1 to R3 single family. It's north of Seba Road, west of the Latter-day Saints Church, just over 11 acres. And is the applicant or the owner here to give us a quick overview of what you're requesting?
Yes, good evening. My name is Dustin Riley with BEI Engineering. We're representing the Keystone Group on this petition to rezone. We are requesting from A1 to R3 single family. The R3 single family does meet the land use plan, adjacent neighborhood character. Yeah, I can answer any questions yet.
Diane, you want to give us a staff overview, please?
Yes, like I stated, this property is located on Seba Road, just to the west of the Church of Latter-day Saints Church property. It is 11.04 acres, currently zoned agriculture, and it is surrounded by primarily agriculture zoning, because with our zoning, we don't have a specific zoning for like public, semi-public use, like schools, churches, things like that. And then Barrington Hills, I always want to call it Barrington Hills, but I don't think that's right. But the Barrington subdivision is zoned R3 single family, and that's just there to the northwest of the property. And then the other properties that are Briar Rose and North 40 subdivision, they're also zoned R3 single family. There's a little piece on the corner there of Gamble and Seba that is the Arc Townhomes on Gamble, and those are R3 multifamily. They're like little cottage style homes. And then Charlo Estates, which is across Gamble, that is zoned R2 single family. The property right now is just a vacant parcel of land, and access to the property is from Seba Road. Like I said, they are looking for R3 single family zoning, which is intended for detached single family dwellings with suitable lot areas. The streets, like I said, they have access right now from Seba Road. Additional road right of way and road improvements required whenever they develop the property. Water is available along the north side of Seba Road, and it looks like the closest sewer manhole connection is right there in front of the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints property. So they will have to extend sewer a little bit whenever they come in. Per the land use plan, this area is designated for public, semi-public. That includes a variety of uses that are generally served the public, such as municipal facilities, other government buildings, schools, religious institutions, and so forth. Because like I said, in our zoning currently, we do not have anything for those uses. It is just agriculture. The parcel is located in Node 3 of the Growth Accommodation Plan. It includes low and medium density residential infill to accommodate both attached and detached housing units. And this will help maintain the desired character in existing single family neighborhoods, while providing a slightly higher density. Based on the goals of the comprehensive plan and the recent sale of the church-owned property, the request to rezone to R3 single family is consistent as it provides a higher density to support the growth accommodation plan node that this parcel is located in. The surrounding zonings, as I stated earlier, are the R3 single family with North 40, that's 2.7 units per acre. Briar Rose Meadows is R3 single family also, and it's 3.56 units per acre. The Arc Homes on Gamble, R3 MF, density of 5.7 units per acre. And the Barrington Place subdivision to the northwest is 4.54 units per acre. And Charlou, which is the R2, is 3.03 units per acre. And like I said, the high school is just to the north and the church is directly to the east. Based on the current surrounding development in the area, the rezone request for R3 single family is considered consistent with the surrounding uses and zoning. Let me know if you have any other questions.
That parcel directly to the west, is that's not the equestrian line, or is that further down? I'm trying to get
Which one?
the one that's to the west of it, yeah, that one.
No, that one's still agriculture.
Okay, it's further down, okay. I was trying to get my
Yeah.
head right about where it's.
Quick question, on the last sheet on the land use map, land use plan. There's other existing parcels zoned R3 single family. And they're yellow under low medium.
Because in the land use plan, it doesn't
Went to,
match. They were originally the R3 single family. They've been that before the land use plan. And all of that is considered the medium-high residential, so it kind of covers the R2 and the R3.
We had the medium overlap. We had low, medium, and a medium
right,
high.
no, I understand, I was just wondering why this one isn't yellow.
With all of that area for the land use plan is designated the medium, the low to medium, and that fits our.
That part was part of the church property, so it was
that-
designated as, what do we?
You're
As
saying those are more low and this one's more medium?
All the ones that are currently around there that have R3 single family, those are what we consider in our zoning medium high.
But then, okay, then why on that map wouldn't they be orange for the medium high?
For the land use, the land use is considered medium high density, the yellow.
That's low,
But
medium.
they're yellow right there, they're low
Yes.
medium. I'm just wondering what's different about this one than those, if all of those are yellow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're saying the old one shows low, medium, but now we're saying it's okay because it's medium high, but we put the coloring for high.
The high density that we have for our land use plan is your like multifamily type unit. And medium high, see, that's where they
Okay.
don't get along with each other.
This is where, when they did the comprehensive plan, the densities were,
This,
so like there was some densities established, like low to medium. R3 was on the bottom, like barely on that. But so most of this kind of fits within, when we do the subdivisions, it still fits in that 4 units per acre.
Mhm,
Cause it kind of worked out to be 3 to 4 units per acre actual.
mhm.
so were those existing ones that are R3 single family and they're yellow on the map on the right, were those classified that way because of the density that they actually constructed?
They still, okay, you're looking at a zone right here, not land use for one thing.
Right.
All right, so,
Land use.
okay, you're talking
Yeah,
on the
the
right
land
side.
use.
Okay.
Both maps come into play.
They should match. They should match.
Then you're looking at 5 to 6 units and higher.
I'm just wondering why this one, let's assume it passes tonight. It's gonna go on the map on the right, on the land use plan as medium high. But you literally have parcels with the same zoning that will touch it on that same map that are yellow shown low to medium.
I don't know why, probably to medium high. Well, for land use,
Yeah,
if
land
it's
use.
yellow,
Yeah,
I don't think the land use colors and our zoning map colors match.
but
I'm not talking.
But he's saying, hey,
medium.
I'll give you an example.
right.
That's all.
Right across the street from this parcel is gonna be low medium. According to our land use plan. And now you say low medium is now touching.
Also, the R3 single family to the northwest, the Barrington Place is zoned R3 single family on the land use, it's yellow, and that existed before land use plan.
Okay, so it's an issue of the old zoning regulations and the density that they had.
Because
Versus
the
the new,
densities that they have for the medium high is basically what we have for R3 single family. Because their densities for the medium high was like 6 to 7 units per acre, when our R3 is
Our three is around five
five
to six.
Yeah,
Right.
correct.
Where,
it just sounds like it's the same exact thing being developed, and when you look at the map, it's kind of a different classification. I think we're talking about the medium. That's what's throwing this off.
I think we had this issue on the last
Yeah.
rezone that we did too.
Okay.
The same question.
our
It
zone,
keeps coming back that we get stuck in that medium, the middle part that overlaps. We get stuck in the overlap part.
until we get our zoning districts worked out so that, because right now you have your R1 low, R2 is medium, R3 is high, considered high.
Right.
But when we did the comprehensive plan and the land use map, the densities that they represent kind of spread between that. So that's where we got that medium high.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's caught in that medium to high.
I'll speak to that, Joey.
Sure.
I had the same question. My understanding was the R3 single family is more on the medium density.
Right.
The R3 multifamily is the high. While R3 is considered medium to high.
Yeah.
It's based on units per acre.
Yeah, because even the R2 is 3.03 units per acre, and the highest R3 single family over there is 4.54 units per acre.
And the R3 multifamily is kind of it really should be R3 single family, so it's a zoning correction.
Mhm.
It was just done as a PUD. It somehow it got put as a multifamily, but they are not attached units. It's not a multifamily development.
It's like a little-
On the corner there,
Yeah.
that too, but I don't.
That's,
Sorry,
those are individual lots there. They're not connected.
No, it's a development.
it's a development all in one, but they're single family homes, so it looks like they're all.
Oh, I remember, yeah, the smaller ones.
That's a correction that we have noted for the zoning map.
Any other questions or comments before we open up to the public?
I just say there's that medium, if you look at what our minimum area is and minimum width. If they literally did straight roads all the way through without anything exceeding the minimum, your maximum density is only 5.8.
And that doesn't include detention
Yeah.
and any other turnarounds or cul-de-sacs or anything like that.
Just making sure this didn't need to go as a medium low to match the rest of it, but I think we're good.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to open up to the public.
John, I motion open public hearing for rezone 2506.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? We are now open to the public. If anyone wishes to speak, have any questions or comments in regards to the rezone request from A1 to R3 single family, we'd ask that you come to the podium, state your name, address, and then any questions, comments that you might have.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thomas C. Lokes, 1920 Florentine Road. Diamond Estates. It's in that area. And I'm just from this conversation, I just say, has anybody walked that area or understand that area? Okay. There we go. All right, so check on that one. This is what want to say the problem is. and then I'll give you context. The problem is, if you go from Keller to the bus exit for the high school, that road hasn't been developed enough, and the amount of traffic that is being created by the density of that area creates a hazard. So the municipality just put in a park. So there's a bicycle park right there on the south side of Seba, from Keller to that area that I talked about. And then there's the park that's on the corner of Keller and Seba. And the problem is that there is no sidewalk or crosswalk anywhere for people on the north side to get over there. For an adult, I think an adult can handle that. The reason I'm here today is because in my neighborhood, which is directly impacted by that area, all right, we have children that are special needs, or if you want to call them autistic, they're autistic. They have trouble judging distance and speed, and you've created these public hazards. Okay, it's not a bad thing. They're great parks. It's a great job. The homeowners association I live in created a public hazard when they put a pool in. But they have gates and all these things to protect it. I see nothing. I don't see anything that anybody can call that safe for children or even safe for adults or bikers to cross north to south. The problem being that this development is going to increase the amount of traffic on the north side. So there's no way for them to go to the south side on a crosswalk or anything like that. So do I need to expand on that anymore? Anybody want to comment on that? Do I got that wrong? Is there a plan to improve this road?
With this development, that's how a lot of these improvements get completed. And if you look, there's not a lot of development along the road, so that road hasn't been widened or sidewalks been completed.
Right, but that development's not gonna need to do anything, because that road part where the development is already widened. We're talking about,
So you're not talking about this property specifically?
yes, I am. What I'm talking about is the traffic that will create. The high school is there. And that high school is full of people who don't have experience driving. And I have been before the city council and complained about the driving and what's going on there. And the nightmare is that with the roads the way they are, if there's an accident, there's no way for police and fire necessarily to get there. Okay, if you've walked that area, then you know what I'm talking about. So that creates a hazard.
I just want to make sure that we're clear on what we're asking of the public tonight. Is your question about this particular property, or is your question about some other traffic down the road that you want to be addressed?
Specifically, the density of traffic will increase because you approve this property. And the roads are not set up for that. That back road for the high school, I don't even know if that's a road, it doesn't have a name. Does the developer expect to use that road?
You need to address us, okay? You're not addressing the developer. And there are things that we can ask the developer and there are things that we cannot ask the developer. Okay, so when we consider this rezone, I'm not saying that we don't have a conversation about traffic. But we can't control something down the street that developer doesn't have any impact on necessarily, or can't make a change to.
What I'm asking for is a moratorium on development in that area until the whole concept of the road, study can be done so that those people that live there will be safe.
Fair request.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking for, a moratorium on that.
What else do you have?
What else I have is there any future plans to address the people? You're gonna have to do eminent domain. Has anybody started talking about that or looking at that?
I guess I don't understand what you're Asking us about this property.
Property to, well, we won't have to take property because if they develop this parcel that we're talking about, they'll dedicate right away and need
But
it.
you just mentioned that with that property, that's where it's usually developed and that's where sidewalks go in. So are you gonna create a situation where there's safe passage, like there is on Gamble, where somebody can cross the street at a crosswalk, get over to the south side, and then is there gonna be a sidewalk there for them to walk down to the parks or the areas that are in there?
That's not necessarily what we would consider when we think about the rezone for this property.
Okay, so that's your position.
Fact, yes.
It's not a fact. It's your position.
That's it.
Okay. My position is that it's immoral for you to increase the density, have it for residential living, knowing that it's unsafe for kids to be there. I personally have witnessed when that school is going out and those buses stop multiple times, close accidents. When it happens, because of your limiting the scope of this discussion, okay, you're gonna be the one that's responsible for this.
Do you have anything else for us this evening?
I hope that you will take this into consideration seriously. There's nothing wrong with waiting until you can get somebody to sign off that says that you are creating a safe environment for the people that are gonna live in this new development. Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you. We are still open to the public. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak, have any questions or comments? And third and final call for anyone who wishes to speak. And we did not receive any letters, nor is there anyone online. Then with that, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Mr. Tony, I make a motion to close public hearing for rezone 25-06.
Second, Ben.
Motion and a second. Is there anyone that's opposed? Any additional questions or comments from any of the commissioners?
So I just want to clarify earlier what Joey was talking about and just make sure that I'm on the same page. When we were discussing the differentiation in color here and with where the zoning map is and the land use. So currently, the neighborhoods that we have around this, way I'm understanding it and the way that discussion went, are R3SF, correct?
Correct.
The land use plan future is basically, we're off on colors, but the remaining open property there is slated to be low to medium density R2.
It's not R2, it would be low to medium density, which is our R2 and R3s.
So the other property current next to it, based on our future plan, are going to be R2.
Or R3, it could be either one.
Brandon, this might be before,
That makes
that's what I was talking about. This is before you got here.
See if I can help it. So the R2. Well, no, this doesn't make sense. The R2 to me would be the yellow on the right map. And the R3 would be the orange. What should be orange, or medium high. Right? But what doesn't make sense to me is there's the R3 touching it, SF, and it's yellow. So I think the definition of that. First off,
You get undeveloped with.
the land
undeveloped.
use,
That's what I'm not-
right, the land use plan definitions on density don't line up one to one. These colors over here don't line up the one with our zoning
Our current.
classification.
Thank you, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
You know.
In current zoning, if you think about it, it says low to medium.
For.
Medium would be like R2. And
In.
it says medium to high. Medium to high would be the overlap of that medium.
Hold on just a second.
Is R2 and R3. It could be either or. Think about it that way.
Hold on. I'm hearing you guys, I'm hearing these guys, so let me finish and then I promise I will come over to you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
That makes sense? In the old definition.
Development around this that's touching this is R3 single family. That's been currently developed around this, right? The open
Correct.
property that's still remaining.
Most of it except Charlotte, and it's it's R2.
So is the,
So we have R2 up there, R3, single family is the rest of this. R2's touch, so the remaining property that's currently in green is slated to be R3, single family.
It could be R2 or R3 because the definitions, the medium overlap, because where the medium overlaps, they could say R2, they could say, no, we want R3.
Difference
It'll be
between,
medium.
those is basic, is 2.5 per acre versus 4 per, or what was the difference between the two?
Well, your R2 is 2 to 3. No, 2 to 4. Sorry.
4.
R1 is 1 to 2. R2 is typically 2 to 3. And your R3 is between 4 to 6.
but
It's hard to get 6, but
the land use plan, their loaded medium, what this yellow is like 6 to 7 units per acre. And then the medium high was 7 to 11.
So you're still in that low to medium original, but the definition is how we split the medium now versus then.
Because what they have for the land use, their different designations is much higher than what any of our current zoning would allow.
Then I think, you know, to Alan's point, if you do simple math, just based on the piece of property, you kind of get what that density is gonna be, and then you can match that up against what else is in the surrounding areas.
So it's physically impossible to hit 6.
On that property.
We might get to 4, you know, we
Right now,
get to 6.
as I stated, the ones that are zoned R2 around there are 3.03 units per acre. And then the R3SF, which is the highest, which is Barrington Place, is 4.54 units per acre.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Does that help?
It does, thank you.
Clarify a few points for the gentleman that came up and spoke. One, I don't think this is the correct form for what you were asking for. That would be city council. We're here to just evaluate the land use based on the proposed use to see if it fits or not. We don't have the ability to enact any moratorium on development. So what Jeff said is that's not our position. That's just the law on what we're here to do. And so that's why you got the answers that you got. But I don't think anybody disagrees that sidewalk infrastructure and crossings are important, especially adjacent to a school. But again, tonight, we're just here to evaluate the land use. Just want to clarify that.
But the city council would be a good place to have.
City council would be a good place to start. And to Joey's point, I've driven that road a lot and I don't disagree with the gentleman's comment about it being difficult to get from the north side to the south side of the street.
Mayor Bill?
Can we go back to the map that she had up there with the brown on there? Not with this, but just showed the.
GIS,
Yeah, the area.
GIS map.
Because I was sitting there looking at that and I just want to kind of address Thomas's concern, just real brief. So we are in the process of doing a bunch of sidewalk connections. And I'm not 100% sure, but I will talk to Anthony about this. Cause this developer right here, I'm sure he's gonna do all this right here, the sidewalk. Some might already be there. This is just a short little jog from here to here. If we get this right away, this might be owned by the school, but I'm not sure. We'll have to look it up. But if we can get just a short connection, we can put a crosswalk here, come down here. There's a trail actually runs all the way back to Keller Road. So, you know, as he was talking, I agree with him. Me and Anthony will look at this together. I just wanted to address.
And I believe, and I don't want to speak for him, but I believe he's talking about that skate park or whatever it is right there. Getting
Back here, Bill. I mean, if we can just do a short little jog here, there's a sidewalk already here. We come down to our trail that's already back here and go all the way down. Keller Road. Yeah, so I mean, it's there. It's just not all the way until it develops more. But I'll talk to Anthony. I just want to make sure Thomas, wherever you went, I want to make sure he was heard.
I would agree with that. It is difficult to get from that side of the street.
Statement. May I make a statement, ask a question?
Podium's yours.
So I achieved my goal. I wanted a discussion and I appreciate you having this discussion. 2 weeks ago, the fire truck was moving down Sable. We couldn't move because that road is what it is. It was bouncing up and down. So I want you to think about the nightmare scenario. Those buses coming out of the school, an electric Tesla hits the back of the bus and it creates a fire. There's a choke point in that area. Okay. That's the worst case scenario. And when all these bad things happen, everybody says, well, if I would have only known, here I am to tell you. There's a problem over there. And I thank you for addressing it and looking at it. And I hope that you will proceed in the future. I have had discussions with the city council. And when I have discussions with the city council and we start getting into details, all I get is, if I talk about specifics, they talk about general. If I talk about general principles, they talk about specifics. It's just deflection, deflection, deflection. I'm here because I saw that little kid almost walk out into the car. And having spent 19 years of my life as a police officer, a defender of the peace, and having gone through accidents that didn't need to happen, I have a civic duty to come here, raise my hand and say there's a problem. What you do with that, it's up to you. Thank you for.
Any other questions or comments before we go to what we need to consider? Sarah, do you want to go to the question? Thank you. The first question for us to consider for the rezone from A1 to R3 single family is the rezoning consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan, including the adopted land use plan? If not, why? And I believe that based on the math that I think that we've come up with, that in this particular example or case, that it is consistent. Does anybody disagree with that?
With the medium. We're on the medium.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I agree, John.
Is the proposed rezoning compatible with the surrounding area and zones? And I do believe, since they're asking for a single family in this particular case, and the R3 that's near the area that it is. Does anybody disagree with that? Would all the permitted uses in the new zone be compatible in this location and the surrounding areas? And again, I believe that the single family, R3 single family request would be compatible with the surrounding area, permitted in this location and the surrounding areas. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Would the rezoning provide a benefit to this landowner but not be considered for other similar properties in this area? And I do not believe that it would benefit just this landowner. We would go through the same process for any other pieces of property that are in this area. Does anybody disagree with that? If the public is opposed, why? So Thomas brought up, the potential for traffic, and some other potential, things for us to consider. I think Joey made a good point about the fact we need to consider, this particular property. We don't necessarily control what's upstream, downstream, and things like that. So that's what our, that's what our job is. And so unfortunately, there were not any facts. I mean, there was certainly some, potential real life examples, but there were no facts or figures or anything that was presented in this particular case. So there was no factual information relating to the direct request. Does any factual information presented apply to this rezoning situation? And again, the fact that we will, require the developer to develop along there, on the part that they own, I think does potentially combat some of the opinions that were shared this evening. Does anybody disagree with that or have any other questions or comments? If there are no other questions or comments, then I would entertain a motion for rezone 2506 Keystone Group from A1 to R3 single family.
It's John, I motion to approve rezone 2506.
Joey, a second.
Motion and a second. If you'll do a roll call for me.
Tony Davis.
Yes.
Brandon Swoboda,
Yes.
Joey Engel,
Yes.
Ben Lewis.
Yeah.
Devin Murphy,
Yes.
John Sessoms,
Yes.
Jeff Seifarth.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you. Good luck. All right, next on the agenda this evening is conditional use 2511. Lost in ink violation, a code violation specifically. So this is a conditional use that we approved. And some factual information has been shared with us that could potentially be a violation. And so they would like for us to consider if we want to revoke the conditional use. And in this particular case, I'm going to start with the staff. And Diane, if you would like to cover the factual information that you guys have uncovered, I would appreciate that.
Yes, you guys did, just approve the conditional use for, the temporary tattoo, Lost in Ink in the trailer in the parking lot there of 880 East Centerton Boulevard, which is the property where Two Squad is located. That was on June 3rd. And on June 23rd, the fire department responded to a fire in the interior of the vacant tenant space within the same building, located on the west side of Two Squad at 880 East Centerton Boulevard. Upon arrival, fire personnel found evidence of unauthorized occupancy, including a burning couch. Further investigation revealed a party had taken place in the unit involving alcohol, piñatas, and apparent tattooing activity. This unit is unfinished and does not have a certificate of occupancy, and a building permit has not been submitted, has not been approved for this unit. Currently, it's just an unimproved unit, and there's pictures in the packets that show that information. So we're requesting the serious violations of the conditions of approval, as well as the city and state building and fire codes, including unlawful occupancy of a commercial space without authorization and creating a risk to the public health, safety, and welfare. Staff recommends revoking the CUP for the temporary Lost in Ink tattoo trailer.
So, correct me, Diane, that
And a letter was sent to them to let them know.
incident was in the area that they're renovating for that, not inside the trailer.
Correct, it was not inside the trailer, it was inside the unit, but it does
It's not
say.
supposed to be occupied.
Correct,
Right.
and they don't have a building permit pulled to do any of the work in the interior, and they do not have a certificate of occupancy for that space.
And it was the same people?
Yes,
As far as we know, it was the same people, correct?
correct, correct.
There was no evidence that somebody broke in and.
And there's pictures that show there's sofas in there, a generator, things like that, beyond the sofa that had burnt.
Okay.
There's pictures in there that show that.
Are
And
you
it
the
does say in the general conditions that, all code compliance must be met.
Understand. How are you?
I am here to speak on behalf of Lost in Ink. Maureen Simmons, I'm the owner of the building. And can speak to the questions and concerns. There is a generator there at the mobile, what's going to be a mobile tattoo shop with the trailer, and that's just for renovations. We have someone that's working on the interior. No tattoos have been given. There's no business that's happening there. I think things that were found inside of the empty building that we own were props for a music video that was filmed there on Sunday afternoon, and it was just there for a few hours. So there was I think a tattoo bed, couches were taken and all kinds of furniture, so filmed, and then everything was taken out. So there has been no business conducted there. And as the owner of the building, I was surprised didn't realize there would be a problem to actually use the building that we own. A few hours. So, any questions for me? Or anything else I can answer? Daniel?
I mean, based on what I still see couches and some other things that are in the building. So if I heard you correctly, you said that everything was taken out.
It's empty. Just there for a
What is this picture then with the couches in them still?
probably taken after. I mean, if
When the fire department showed up, I believe.
they did. Everything was removed. I don't know, Sunday night, Monday morning. The music, the video was filmed on Sunday. And the place is empty. It's been empty since.
Paul, what day did y'all show up? What day of the week is that on? Sorry, I don't have a calendar in front of me. That's on a Monday?
Monday morning, approximately 4 o'clock in the morning.
And Paul, these were pictures taken.
By
your-
I actually was not at this. I was on leave due to family matter. But these pictures are taken that morning. After our investigation. These actually were taken by our chief building official. I would guess about 8 o'clock. That's why the sun is as bright as it is. As you see the pictures is how it was found. Doors were locked. Spoke with fire crews. Place was full of smoke. At first because it was not supposed to be occupied. There's not a certificate of occupancy. To my best of my knowledge, we have not received plans on an infill for this.
Construction permits or anything like that.
Correct. The fire crews, first noticed fire or smoke pushing out of the, doors, which it takes a lot for it to start pressurizing and start pushing smoke. The fire was smoldering in the couch, but the entire space was full of smoke. They found, I believe, 2 or 3 fire extinguishers that were used and left. So what we're assuming is at some point Sunday evening, early Monday morning, there was evidence of burnt cigars in there. There's tons of alcohol, beer cans, beer bottles, liquor bottles. As you can see in this photo here, and one of the photos, there should be what's left of a burnt cigar on one of the tables. We're assuming that one of those, either cigarette, cigar, something of that effect, fell in between, started smoldering. They thought they put it out. They left. Lo and behold, it didn't. Then a passerby stopped, found it, called us.
Passerby or the owner?
My understanding was a passerby.
Was there any smoke or damage to the adjacent
No.
property that was share that building?
It was a 2-hour rated assembly in between the two of them.
So do you still disagree that these were taken out on Sunday night
Make sure that in
after the video?
Out on Monday. It's been vacant ever since the
The fire department showed up on Monday.
Monday morning.
Saying after they left, you cleared everything out? Yeah.
And it's been empty ever since. We are getting ready we're working on permits and to start construction soon. Warmers to the building, there's no remaining smoke. Unfortunate incident, but it's all been cleared out, cleaned out.
Thank you.
Yeah, the pictures we received from Robert Caulfield and the email we got at 7:41 on June 23rd that morning.
How are the people that have the conditional use associated with this?
That's them.
Lieutenant.
They own the business.
Yeah, but
So I think you missed the last meeting.
You weren't there.
You missed this one. So that building has been split
right,
and they purchased this unit.
is the way I
And I
read
think-
this, the conditional use is for the like using the trailer or
The
using this unit?
Conditional use was using the trailer for a tattoo establishment while they renovated the current space that
For
is now for the same use. And you're not supposed to be, I don't know, it's just like a tattoo chair and other things that were.
Yes, as I stated earlier, the tattoo chair was taken in with the couches and furniture temporarily as props for a music video that was filmed there on Sunday afternoon. It's all been cleared out. There's no business happening in our building or in the adjacent trailer. Both are still, the trailer is still being renovated.
So I think that's concerning because you're not allowed to occupy that space for any use. you don't have a permit for it, even a music video. So is that the responsibility of the owner of the business? Or we're assuming that it was tied to the ink folks?
They are the,
Yeah, they are.
Oh, you're the same people?
Yes.
same folks.
Okay, so
They were
you
just,
so
it
you-
looked like they were just using their current space.
Sort of, let me clear this up. So we own the building is Moonshot Properties is a business we have. It's a real estate business. Lost and Ink is my son's business. The intent is to lease or rent that space to my son for his business. So he applied under his Lost and Ink business for that temporary use for the trailer while we renovate and finish up that building.
So you're the owner of the building, you're not the owner of the business.
Not over Lost and Ink, correct.
Separating those two. So do we have, I mean, I know that there was an ink chair in there, but we don't have proof that it was. Do we have proof that it was, I'm separating y'all, even though you're family, I'm separating the two. Do we have proof that it was that business that had broken into this space in order to conduct its music video? Or was it the owners that were doing, you see what I'm saying? Like, how do we know?
We did find, I don't know if they made them into Rob's pictures, but I believe they were. And some of the photos I've seen, cause I review all investigations, that's part of my job description. There was medical supplies, bandages that had been opened and used. I didn't see any tattoo or anything like that. You know, spilled ink, that kind of items used for tattooing, but there were bandages. There was a first aid kit that was there that was opened. I can't speak to who was occupying or what they were doing. I just know that it was occupied and it is non-occupiable space at this time. There are no safety features. The ground is uneven. It's a rock floor. So.
And it's your understanding that it was being occupied, was no forced entry, right? So.
To my best of my knowledge, the doors were secure upon their arrival.
Well, and y'all said you
Nobody broke in.
let
My
somebody.
son has a key to it, like he's getting prepared to start his business. So they're renovating the trailer, working on it. So he has access. He has a key to the building. No breaking in going on here.
First aid kit, just to that one detail that was there, and the bandages open as my son's cut his thumb. I have pictures of that. But again, I reiterate, there's no
Again, I'm just
being given.
I'm just trying to clarify what the real violation is here, because I feel like we're dealing with two different businesses. We're penalizing potentially one that's they think because they're separate entities.
I don't completely disagree with you, and we'll all have a chance to speak here. I don't completely disagree with you. However, at the end of the day, the individual that applied for the permit for the conditional use abused that privilege, in my mind, and entered a building that was not supposed to be occupied. I haven't seen any videos. I didn't try to look up any videos. I didn't try to see whether there was a tattoo or not. I didn't really care. I see pictures and a building in town almost burned down because something was abused by an individual that applied for a permit to have a conditional use in our city. That's the way that I look at it. And that for me, that's hard for me to separate it out versus owner, which knew they were there, okay? Because nobody broke in. So tenant had knowledge of the fact that people were gonna be in this building. Understand their family, okay? But they knew they were gonna be there and they weren't supposed to be. So it's really kind of a couple different things in my mind as I think about it.
And I don't think you're penalizing the property owners. You're looking strictly at the conditional use.
And
Ben, what did you have to say? I'm trying to let Ben speak.
I was curious, who has the conditional use? You guys or your son?
Our son.
And why is he not here talking about?
He couldn't make it. He had conflict.
He couldn't make it for the conditional use either and we approved it. I mean,
Seems like a pretty
I'm not saying
important.
that's a bad thing, but
it's an important meeting tonight. He's actually had a conflict. He's fighting in Vegas this weekend. And was unable to miss his training tonight.
I mean, I want to have sympathy, but we have Zoom. I mean, we asked him to be on a call for 15 or 20 minutes. It's his permit and he's the one that violated it. I'm just gonna put that out there.
And I did speak with Tim after he received the letter of violation, Tim, which is not Tim, Sam, sorry, Tim. I did speak to Sam after he received the letter saying that they had violated the conditional use and that it was gonna come back to the planning commission. And he did say that it was him that was in there with friends or family or whomever shooting the music video. And he is the owner of the Lost in Ink.
Okay. Lorraine, did you have something you wanted to add?
This conditional use, use the address of this unit as,
There we go.
as the property. And then conditional use of that parking lot. What we have found though, is that the units the parking spaces, there's some that are specifically designated for this unit, which are more like out front. Where the trailer is not actually, part of the ones that are specifically designated for this unit. But I'm just giving you information. What we had also found, and I think you have a picture of it, is that appears to be where the employees of the dentist office park. And I know Diane did try to get a hold of the dentist office, just let them know, because when we started this, we did not realize that it was a horizontal property regime. So that really the property, that them as the property owner also did not sign off on this application as a property owner.
Oh.
So that was kind of just finding out a little more information. Another thing is that I don't know what extent are they working on this trailer to do business? It's not open yet.
No, it's not, still being worked on.
And when was it permit issued?
June 3rd, and the permit was for 7 months. To be
That was to renovate the trailer though.
No, that was to operate.
It was both. It was to renovate the trailer and renovate the building.
It was to occupy and use the trailer for the business while
The
the building was being
but
completed.
then they had not even pulled a building permit. So it was like everything's just kind of suspended. They're not gaining on the trailer, but they didn't have a permit to start work on the building either, so is this just a 7-month parking place for the trailer?
It's not that at all.
I mean, it's,
Work is being done on the trailer. It's going slower than he expected. That's all it is.
Matt, just Dave,
So a permit has been pulled to do that work
No.
They don't need
on a trailer?
The permit.
they do need a permit to renovate the building, which they haven't.
getting close to that. I met with the commercial contractor and the architect today, so that's still in the works and we're making progress. We've had some setbacks, but it's still in the works.
I don't recall when we did the conditional use though, were we aware that they were still renovating the trailer?
no,
We thought it was gonna open the next day, right?
right.
There was no mention of renovating the trailer and then open.
Brian, any additional words of wisdom?
None other than when it was, came to my desk, to whether or not this should be something that should come across to the planning commission. Yeah, I did advise, that absolutely, this is something that, planning commission should look at.
I do have, one legal thing here is, in order to get this, it has to be a sign off by the other property owner?
They are the property owner.
Oh,
Well, but
mean,
Sioux Squad, you're saying Sioux Squad owns that side?
Property owner, because they're sharing a parking lot, should have signed off on that.
Gene that, dude,
Yeah, but they just own the building, they don't own the parking lot.
they have common ownership of the property.
It's a shared parking lot, right? If you're.
Oh, I thought you meant they split it like a condo.
So arguably, the facts that should have been brought forth to begin with, to get the conditional use permit, were not provided, and we probably needed other signatures to get that. So,
Is that the responsibility of the person doing the application or is that our responsibility?
no, I believe it'd be the applicants.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's the action being asked?
So the action will just simply be that we would revoke the conditional use. I mean, that would, in my mind, be the simplest motion. And then,
Very conditional use.
yeah, the temporary conditional use to be revoked, and then based on some fact finding, if they wanted to come back, then they would need the signature of everybody involved, meaning two different owners, all landowners in that of that building. So there's two or three, then they would also need to be a part of the signature request.
If we were to revoke that, what kind of, was there a timeline they have to like get everything out, including the trailer and all that stuff? Or
We would set that time. So if we wanted to do 3 days, 10 days, whatever we feel like is a time that we would want to establish, then that would be part of the motion as well. Anything else from you guys?
I'll just say, we've never done this before. I have no idea we needed the adjacent building people to sign off on this. There's no intent to be deceptive here or hold the wool over anybody's eyes. I had no idea that needed to be. We're just trying to help our son get on his feet. He's had a tough go at life so far, and we're just trying to help him out. And this was just one way to try to get him some momentum, get things going while we're trying to get the build out of the rest of it done. But you know, if unknowingly we broke the rule and therefore you have to revoke it, so be it. I mean, let's just help you understand the context here.
Thank you guys for coming.
I just wanted clarification on, violation of occupancy. He didn't realize he was violating anything. We didn't either. Just thought as we own the building, we weren't conducting a business there, that we'd have use it for personal use for that video shoot for a few hours, and clearly that's not the case. So I guess I'm wondering.
Was the video to promote the business?
No. It's a music video. Separate. Well, I'm wondering with this violation of occupancy, when we are allowed to access the building that we own. So if I meet there with the contractor for.
I think the issue though is like, it's not an access issue. It's a what you do in the access. And
What we consider occupancy, you as the business owner, the building owner, you have access to it. Your son is directly tied to you. The people that aren't directly tied to you, the ownership of that occupied space, they're considered public. Whenever you bring public in, that's just like this building. We can't occupy this building if we have certain safety, safety, ADA, restrooms. So there's a lot of things that we have to abide by on our side, making sure that the public is safe. None of that stuff is there in that space. You knowingly, you own the building. You're not going to sue yourself. The other clients or people or friends doesn't have that protection. They can sue you if they got hurt. That's one of the, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. That's my understanding.
Well, and which brings another, concern would be the municipality's liability, if not doing it, and if something like this were to happen again, which I'm sure it would not. But rest assured, if it did, and the city had knowledge of it and allowed something to continue on, we would be a named defendant for failing to provide the standards.
And I assume once they ask for a building permit, then their contractors and whatever can be.
They have their own.
Need that permit.
Permitting process. They submit their license. Part of that license is they're insured, they're bonded, they're all of these things that protect you, the building owner, that they get hurt in the course of construction. They can't turn around and sue you. They assume their own liability. My gross understanding. I know we in the municipality can be held liable if we don't enforce and make sure that the codes are followed and the general public is protected.
That help?
Yeah, and then as far as the parking lot, when we bought that side of the building, it was under our understanding that parking spaces on that side of the building were ours to use.
I don't know what that agreement.
The trailer is parked and it's actually the very best.
I don't think that's what's gonna keep us from not.
Verify, so we don't.
I would understand how the lot is split, and that's probably a different conversation, whether they're designated or not designated. Because they may want to park in your spot someday, you never know. So that's, unless it's split up by parking lot, which I don't think it is, then
It's
you.
one lot,
Probably
right?
all one common
Right.
parking area.
And your customers, if they're later in the evening, may want to park in their parking spots too. So it's works both ways.
Anything else needed from us?
I don't think so. Thank you guys for coming tonight. If there's no additional questions or comments, then I would entertain a motion in regards to the violation on the conditional use. And I don't know what time frame to give you guys. I mean, it's 10 days. 10 days a fair amount of time, 3 days, 5 days. Y'all have a truck to move the trailer? I'd say 3 days, then if you want, that gives them till Friday close of business. Does that sound like a good time period? Is that doable?
I'd give them through the weekend. I'd give them to the end of the day Sunday.
Give them a week.
Yeah, that's
Say
7 days.
7 days, fine. That's
Okay.
not.
Whoever makes the motion can put in whatever time period they want. Simply trying to give a little direction to you guys.
I'll try. This is John, I'll motion to revoke the conditional use of CU 2511. With the 7-day understanding of removal of all current equipment and facilities, and current equipment or business related materials within the next 7 days.
This has been, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We are gonna do a roll call vote in this.
Ben Lewis.
Yes.
Devin Murphy,
Yes.
Brandon Swoboda,
Yes.
John Sessoms,
Yes.
Tony Davis, Joey Engel,
Yes.
Jeff Seifert.
Yes as well. Thank you guys for that. Anything else from staff?
As far as other business, I just want to let you know there is a folder in the Dropbox that has some reports in it, department reports that go to council. So you'll have Public Works, building, Centerton Utilities, and then the planning report that breaks down the projects. And then kind of what we have going on. There's a population estimate for all the cities. You can have 34. Centerton is estimated 25,745. You can see how that compares to the other cities, and then the growth percentage.
Maureen, where is this?
There should be in the Dropbox, there should be a folder that says reports and other info.
Resources, code, trainings and maps?
No, in the meeting.
In the meeting.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
because it's just for this month. And there was also the grants awarded to the city. And so that document, it has several, like sidewalk, Greenhouse Road, and Bill can give you all of them. Can't give you all of them right off. All of the grants, your document, there's sidewalks, Greenhouse Road.
Yeah, we just got some recent. We just got 3 recent grants. We partnered with the city of Bentonville and got an extra or an additional $2.6 million for right of way and utility relocation on Greenhouse Road project. I did apply for $1.5 million to put a traffic light at Womack in 102. Wasn't able to get all the funding, but I got enough to get a design done, so I got 100,000. So we can come back with design next year. We'll come back with a plan. And the other one was additional $400,000 for more sidewalks. We've been I think we're up to about 1.3, 1.4 million dollars in sidewalks. And what we're doing, we're trying to make connections. You know, cause you know, one thing I do hear, hey, we need sidewalks, and there's a lot of sidewalks in the subdivisions, but we are lacking connections. Like the one that we talked there, I think.
Is that one of the ones being considered?
I believe I did.
I think the gentleman has a valid topic to go to city council with.
Actually connect to, we put a cross there, so. I think it's on there, if not, I'll talk to Anthony.
Yeah, I think his idea of a crosswalk down by the park is.
Yeah.
Walk here, beat it. Anyway.
Anyway, I'm gonna walk half a mile down and back.
Get some steps in,
Well,
man.
I see, I see.
And I see where he's coming from. I've had a couple close calls myself traveling that road.
That it
Starting to cross.
Hogs over, it's just,
It's real dog there too, yeah.
and people trying to do there, it's.
Making that turn to go down to park on the north side of the stadium, that's a hairy turn.
People, yeah, it pretty much have to stop almost to make the,
That road.
right in there, yeah.
All right, anything else from staff?
There, an article,
The stadium, where the subdivision is, and it's
the new downtown,
very difficult.
and there's, you're looking for another one coming out. Bill's real good about sending them to me, so I'll have him. See, I can. But NWA is going to be doing another.
Well, Bemco's doing some renovations and trying to make the building look nice. I don't know if y'all seen that. They were working on it whenever I drove by tonight, so.
Work for the space shuttle's paying off.
Anything else? We've got our next meeting is the 5th. If you can't be here, please let us know. And I'll see you before the council meeting. If there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Devin, so moved. Second.
Motion is second. Is anyone opposed? Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Are there any city council members present? Think you might have some visitors. Down the street from me. That's because we're good at a hard time. You don't come.